7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, welcome. If you heard me counting down, that's just because I'm trying to figure out how long I got to hold the camera here live to figure out because, for some reason, it doesn't go live after a little while. Hey, Bill, nice to see you. Giants aren't doing so good, are they? So I think Bill's a Giants fan. So awesome. So sorry about the countdown, and sorry about missing last week. But the thing is that I'm studying. I'm still doing my schoolwork, so I've got tons of reading that I had to do. I had a paper due. It was madness last week, so I may not be able to do it every week, depending on vacation or schoolwork. I am trying to finish up my degree. I have 3+ years of school right now. I'm at Empire State College, and I'm taking a lot of military science courses right now. So actually, this is a great book, by the way. Pocket Guide for Writing in History. If you're ever going to write any kind of history papers, this is by Mary Lynn Rempala. I don't know if the screen is reversed. But this tells you how to cite stuff and everything. That's really been fantastic, and I just threw it and made a loud noise. So yes, Bill says my poor Giants watching the Knicks right now instead. That might be a good choice, Bill. It might be a good choice. And then I just finished John Keegan. Of course, he's a big historian, written a lot of papers. I just finished reading his book, The First World War, for my school. That's what I was reading last week when I missed talking to all of you here on a Wednesday night. And then recently I had some friends over, and we came over and we played some Advanced Civilization. This is an old Avalon Hill Game Company game. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I think we played for about 11 hours, no, about 10 hours, and we still didn't finish. Crazy, a ton of fun. I came in second place. So hopefully you'll get a chance to play Advanced Civilization one point in your life. It has been redone. I think it's called Mega Civilization, if I'm not mistaken, is the redone. Oh, so Bill was there playing the Advanced Civilization. He's like, awesome day. Unless he's talking about today, or maybe with the Knicks. Maybe the Knicks are winning right now. But I think he's talking about that. And then Ginger read 2001 Space Odyssey. And then Ginger and I, for date night, just recently watched 2001 Space Odyssey. And I'll tell you, we had some mad synchronicity thing happen. I couldn't believe it. I'm talking to my brother on the phone about a completely different subject. I mentioned that Ginger is reading the 2001 Space Odyssey book, and we might be watching a movie later. And then he says, "It's full of stars," on the phone. And Ginger overheard him say it on the phone. I didn't have it on speakerphone, but he said it loud enough. Ginger heard it. And she had just read in the book, "It's full of stars," like 10 seconds before that. It just, so crazy. And then Ginger and I watched the movie, and we're waiting for it to say "It's full of stars" at the end of the movie, and it doesn't, the actors don't say it. So we were like, what is going on? So apparently it's the first line in 2010. That's why all of us, if you've seen the movie or whatever, we always think "It's full of stars" is like the iconic saying from that movie. So fun stuff. And then the other cool stuff, hey, Rich, nice to see you too. And then the other cool thing that's happening with both Rich and Bill are involved in is it's time for our yearly convention at the Bethpage Library. We call it Octocon because it happens in October. So it's Octocon 8. I can't believe it. We've been doing it for 8 years. The very first year I did it at one of my game stores, and one of our regular customers was the librarian at the time, so he helped move it over to the library so we could have more space. 2 years ago, in 2019, I guess it was, we had in total over the weekend, 250 people came in and out of the library to play games and stuff like that. It was awesome. Can't do it last year. We didn't do it. We did it online last year, and then this year we're still a little nervous. It's the Delta variant. Not everybody's vaccinated, so we're doing what's called a hybrid event, which is actually it's not a little bit different. It's much different. So some events are at the library. The library is not enforcing wearing a mask and everything like that, but please just be conscious of what other people have. If you're vaccinated, okay. If you're not vaccinated, please wear a mask. If the game master asks you to wear a mask, please wear a mask. But we are also doing events on Zoom and Board Game Arena and Tabletop Simulator. All the games will be on Zoom. And we've got some role-playing games happening on Zoom, too. We've got some role-playing games happening in person, too. This is not the best copy, but we've got all these board games, Sushi Go, Carcassonne, Downforce. You can find all of this, by the way, at the Bethpage Library.info. Okay, slash Octocon. You can find all that. Or even if you just go to BethPageLibrary.info, you'll be fine. Oh, Ginger just put up the link. Thanks, Ginger. So, yes, you can come and learn some great games. We've got Carcassonne, Downforce, Seven Wonders, and then on Sunday, King Domino, Betrayal at House on the Hill, Werewolves at Miller's Hollow. We've got Pyre, which is from Jeff. He's a Long Island game designer, so he designed his own game. We've got tables open for your own game. You can bring your own game or take out a library game and play with your friends. You can reserve some table. Chris also is teaching the Climbers and PAX Premiere on Sunday. And then we've got Will doing a couple of role-playing games, Rice's RPG. I'm not familiar with it, but he says it's fast, fun, and furious, and sounds good to me. You can also reserve another table. War Striders is another one of our local Long Islanders. He has designed a game. This is Josie. And he's looking for playtesters to come check it out. So sign up with that. And his brother's helping him out too. And then online on Zoom, we've got King of Tokyo with Rich, who is #1 science guy right here in the video. We've got Welcome to and Iwari from Bill, who's also in our chat right now. And here's another game on Tabletop Simulator, Pyre. Jeff is doing it on Sunday. And then one of our premier events, if you don't know David Miller, he's one of the local famous artists around here. He's done covers of Dragon Magazine. He's done covers of fantasy novels. He's also a graphic artist, and he is running at 10:30 on Saturday. Prince Valiant RPG. You must register for everything. So go ahead and register. Go to the BethPageLibrary.info/Octocon. Or even if you just go to the library site, they've got a big thing on there for Octagon. You must register for games in order to play them. All of these games on this side. You can also go to GameMasterGames.com. The information is there as well. So all these games here, these first 5 columns are actually at the library. These last 2 columns are events that you do online. And yes, David Miller ran a Scooby-Doo RPG last year. Cool. Wow, that was a lot of advertising and a lot of talking, but thanks for checking it out. I am going to be talking about a little bit about Wingspan tonight. Rich, actually, who's online too, gave me a nice gift, as well as with Chris. And Ginger and I love Wingspan. If you check out my Board Game Geek site, I've got 15 plays of Wingspan in like the last 2 years. That's a lot since I play a lot of other games too. So, Chris and Rich got me Wingspan Oceania edition. And so Ginger and I have been checking that out. Actually, Ginger learned how to play, and she taught me how to play. So let's check that out. So that is what the cover is. We actually don't have the European expansion yet, but we'll get that eventually too. Here's regular Wingspan, rated 8.1 on BoardGameGeek.com. I am amazed by these numbers. Rank overall, number 21 a game out of 100,000 plus games on BoardGameGeek.com. Strategy, it's number 22. And family right now, Wingspan is ranked number 1. Number 1! Unbelievable. All right, came out in 2019, 1 to 5 players, ages 10 plus, 40 to 70 minutes, weight 2.43. Elizabeth Hargrave is the designer. There's some artists, and Stonemaier Games currently puts it out. The expansion, Oceania expansion, is actually rated at 8.6. Check that out. That's crazy. Yes. Oh, really? Hey, Will, nice to see you. So you're talking about Wingspan. Yes, it is a good game. But you said it wasn't popular with the Smithtown group. That's interesting. There's a board gaming group in Smithtown, actually, that Will is a member of. And I've actually attended one event. Had a lot of fun. So again, 1 to 4 players. Again, Elizabeth Hargrove and the publisher and the artists are the same. And this stuff is generally the same too. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown. I'm not going to... In these little examples, I am not teaching how to play the game. And I believe I did do another video on Wingspan. You could look for that on my YouTube channel. That should be up there. If I haven't put it up there yet, it will come up soon. So we're just concentrating on just trying to give you a quick overview of the Oceania expansion. The first thing you'll notice is there's a new resource, and that is nectar. Another thing you'll notice is they came out with 2 new colors to choose from, red and purple, which is super cool. And you'll notice that the board is different because it has to put in those nectar spots, which I'll explain in just a second. And also some of the things have changed here. Like here you can actually get 2 eggs, but you have an opportunity to discard a card or a food to get an egg, and then you could do it again. So that's interesting. And then you have this one, which allows you to discard a food and reset the birds that are displayed. Oh, I didn't display 3 birds, darn it. I don't completely set up the game all the time, but so that's really cool. And then the dice have to be different because it has the nectar on them. So check that out, right? So there's different dice because of the nectar. All right, and then you get a whole stack of new birds. Oh my gosh, that's so many cards. You can just play with this set alone, which Ginger and I did, or you can add it into your regular deck of cards, and so they'll cycle around. But they have some new mechanics with the birds, which is really interesting. Now look at this one, the Eastern Rosella. You've got wheat, and then nectar, and then nectar. Now, the other thing which is interesting is that nectar also acts as a wild. So if you happen to have 3 nectar, you can play the Eastern Rosella. So that is really neat, okay? So then there's another thing look, when activated, all players gain 1 nectar from the supply, okay? Or look at this one. This one has a card. You've got the when activated and you've got the when played cards. Those are some of the same ones are normal. But then you have here, this one gives you points that you can have at the game end. So if you play this bird, you want to try to have at least 5 food in your supply at the game end, because then you get to cash them on there and get points for those. So really interesting mechanics. Look at this one. At game end, draw 4 bonus cards, keep 1 and discard the other 3. I mean, that completely changes some of the game stuff. Then they also have new goal cards too, and these ones are really difficult. I mean, we played with a few of them, Ginger and I, but it's like these are almost impossible to play with. You have to shuffle them in and just have them come up occasionally. All right, so consecutive birds in your grasslands with ascending or descending wingspan. You got to have, so that's the wingspan size. 2 of the same nest in a column. I mean, it's really, really interesting how you can say this is the goal that I had, and I was able to get 2 sets of this and I got that 8 points. So Ginger says, has anyone tried Terraforming Mars on Steam? Yes, we have played that actually. Yes, so this is a great game, Will, for a nice, good, game night and stuff like that. And excellent points. You guys are bringing up some excellent things. They also have new goal chits, okay? So these are some of the wild ones. Look at this one. Cubes on play a bird. So in round 1, you want to try to put down as many birds as you can, because as you put birds up here in these columns, the person with the most of those will score higher on this round. Unbelievable. Look at this one, round 2. No goal. That drives me crazy. I was trying to this is nuts. That means nobody scores any points this round, and you don't lose one of these to put on the scoring track. Okay, so I'm like, what? So basically, you go to the next round with the same number of tokens you had. Ginger and I had one of these, beak pointing left or beak pointing right. So now you got to pay attention to which way the birds are facing, that you have in your tableau that you put down. And then also there's other ones like this. This is not the only ones. I've just put a few out here. This is worms in food cost of your birds. Oh, wow. And then now let's talk about the nectar. So I already told you about the nectar could be a wild. But here's the interesting thing about the nectar. There's a completely new way to score points. It's basically a new goal. So how this works is, if I were to play this bird, so I got 2 nectars, and let's say I turned in a grain and 2 nectars, and I was able to play this bird in the grasslands, the 2 nectars that I played to play that bird don't just go back to the supply. They go over here, okay?
because you can see here, game end, 5/2 points for majority. So now all of a sudden, everybody's got to be tracking on their own boards. You got to be looking at the other players of how much nectar they have on their other boards, because at the game end, whoever has the most nectar in the woodlands gets 5 points, and whoever has the second most gets 2 points. You could possibly get 15 more points if you have the most nectar in the woodlands, grasslands, and the wetlands. Unbelievable. And you have to have at least one token in here to even possibly score. So that, and when Ginger and I were playing, she had so many tokens in the grasslands and the wetlands. There was no way I was going to score. But we were only playing a 2-player game. So the thing is I just made sure that by the game end I had at least one nectar here and one nectar here. So at least I got the 4 points. She got 10, but I got 4. And then I was able to get this one, the most in here. So I got a net 9 and she got a net 12. So it really wasn't that big of a difference. So I worked out well, but it was hard. It is a little random sometimes. Yes, there is a little bit of strategy. And what you get for goal cards and bird cards, you have to make the best of what you have out there. And you have to really pay attention to the goals to do well in this game. So that is interesting. And Ginger says, I was playing the Oceania expansion with Foxy Joan and Cubes on a play a bird was in round 4. I found it stressful. I ignored the goal, let the bird settle in and won. Yeah, there we go. It's a close game though. Yes, so this was our game. Ginger got 89 and I got 83. Okay, great. So I talked a lot about the Wingspan expansion. A lot of differences. New colored eggs. You laid the golden egg. And so thanks for checking it out. Thanks, Rich and Chris. Ginger and I really, really enjoyed it. Check out these games whenever you get a chance. If you haven't tried them already. Whew, and hey, thanks everybody for chatting. I really appreciate it. It gives me something to talk about as well. So again, we got the Octocon, but you can always contact me with any questions about games or events. By the way, we have Sayville Fan Fest coming up the first week in November. Also, that's going to be exciting. And the second week in November, I am going to Compass Games Convention in Connecticut, and then on the third week in November is Doctor Who. Oh, Ginger, we got to check. Oh, maybe Doctor Who's the fourth week. Ginger, we might be at Doctor Who on Sunday, the 13th. I forgot about that. Oh.
Wait, the 13th is a Saturday.
Oh, 14th then. I'm sorry, 14th. Right, so Dave at Game Master Games. You can check me out on Facebook. Cosmic Comics, Legendary Realms, and Main Street Board Game Cafe. Oh, Joni loves Wingspan, Oceania, and the base set. Oh, of course. And so those are some great game stores. Yes, so there are really, Bill says there are really multiple strategies you can take. Build an engine, cycle cards, look at nectar, adds a whole new challenge. Absolutely. I've only played one game, so I don't know if I totally like it or not, but it certainly was challenging, I will tell you that. Don't forget to check out my blog on GameMasterGames.com. There's Ginger's business, is Joyful Day Ceremonies. She's got some people getting married soon, so she's been busy working on that. There is the Bethpage Library link, and also Ginger put it in the chat again. There's a YouTube channel, Patreon channel, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and Board Game Geek. Woo! I always talk a lot of these shows. I thank you for sticking around. I hope it's not boring. Apparently not. You guys are chatting away, having a good time. And give yourself 100 experience points. As a matter of fact, if you have a wingspan of over 130 centimeters, give yourself 200 experience points. And until we meet again, across the grasslands or the wetlands, keep your wings dry, your egg layers ready, and your nectar. Uh-oh, I see somebody coming. Your nectar, where's Flit Flit? Your nectar, strong! That's right, Foxy, Flit Flit, and Ginger. Have a great night. Thanks so much. I'm going to count again because there always like an end that I don't know when to shut this thing off.
What
1,
are you doing?
2, 3, 4. Oops, put my hand right in front of the thing. Now I switched the camera. I didn't hit end.